In this weekend's experiment, we have made the all-seeing eyes, a fun little applet that follows either a random noise or your mouse, X, Y, and Z is just discarded position to create this really trippy and unsettling effect where we're constantly being followed no matter where we are. Now we build this through a bunch of various instancing techniques on geometry. And then we're doing a bunch of vector maths to calculate distances between the screen space of the mouse and the 3D space of the eyes. All of the magic really happens in this one chop execute that does all of the hard work to calculate the distance between each individual eye and the mouse, calculate the vector and then offset the pupil position, and then place everything in the relative and place the relevant texture on top of the eyes that we're closest to. So you can see as I get over a mouse, the pupil will always close. And we do this based on the distance from the eye and just a simple cascading if statement that swaps between 5 different textures. And those textures are built in this base, and they're simply just a circle that then has varying levels of subtraction from it to make either fully open or fully closed. Now this is a nice fun example of it, but it's a really good way to dive into instancing and explore how each of these things are connected. The distances table, which is probably a bit poorly named, contains all of the data that is being sent into our instance in various ways, including col, which stands for the color. The eyes get darker the closer you are to them. We have texture, which is a number from 0 to 4 based on which texture it should be showing. So you can see the top ones here are the bottom left corner, and as I get down there, they all increase in number as I dynamically move over it. The X, the Y, and the Z, these are the newly calculated positions of the pupil. This is probably the most complicated part of the whole experience, is we do a screen space to 3D space translation. So the mouse goes from 0 to 1, but it travels in a space that is negative 1 point something to 1 point something in the X and about negative 0.6 to 0.6 on the Y in 3D space. We need to make that transition in code, and then we work out the limits of where the eye should move based on the vector between the original eye position and the mouse. So that was probably the most complicated thing to work out in here. There's a lot of customization you could do. We could assign random colors to each of these eyes by instancing a texture top over the top of it. In here I'm just using a color number that I'm generating. We could make the eyes disappear or animate something or change to a completely different object when I'm over the top of them using the inverse of the method that we're seeing here. So I saw this on Instagram today. Someone built it in processing, and I thought it would be a fun excuse to make something in Touchdesigner.